everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my weekly makeup basket. So let's go ahead and dive into it. The first thing I have here, this is the eyeshadow palette I primarily use this week. This is the Nude Beach palette from the Balm. It has some really pretty like warmer eyeshadows, kind of some peachy eyeshadows, which is why I decided to pull it out. I did a couple of looks with this. I'll try and insert a picture if I can find a picture of it. But overall, I really like the quality of these shadows. It has some really nice transition shades. The mattes in here are really nice. The shimmers in here aren't extremely metallic, but they are really nice. I feel like the trend nowadays is to get your shimmer shadows to be just very in your face, very metallic, very eye-catching, and sometimes you just don't want that. So this is a perfect palette if you want to create some really nice neutral looks, but then there are also some really fun shades like this shade Bodacious here. You have some really deep colors to kind of deepen up the crease. You have a more purpley one and you have a really nice brown one. So you can create like a pinky look, a neutral look, or a nice and warm look like that's on trend right now. Overall, I just really like the quality of this palette, and I haven't really been enjoying a lot of the Balm palettes recently, so it was really nice and refreshing to finally use a Balm palette that I just really enjoyed. I also use the mattes in this palette to use as a kind of companion palette for this right here. This is the Luster Dust powder from Colourpop. That's the name of it right there. So it's Aura Voir. When I first picked this up, I didn't really like it as a highlighter because I think it is a little bit too glittery. But what I decided to do this week is to use this as an eyeshadow. And man, oh man, is this a gorgeous, gorgeous eyeshadow. And I wouldn't recommend like just going out and purchasing these as like loose eyeshadows unless like this is the only loose eyeshadow you're going to use. It's a pretty big container, but if you already have this in your collection and you just really didn't enjoy using it as a highlighter, it's a gorgeous loose pigment, and I really loved pairing it with some of the warmer looks from the Nude Beach palette. So then another single shadow that I use this week is actually what I'm using all over my eyes today, and this is the Essence Metal Shock eyeshadow. I don't think I've heard anybody really talk about these, and I have kind of been in a single shadow or a liquid eyeshadow type of kick. I use some of the Colourpop ones, I use some of the Stila ones, I use the Cover FX one. I wanted to see how these Essence ones worked out because they are so inexpensive. Sorry, I didn't tell you guys the shade. This is kind of like a peachy shade with a little bit of a gold shift, and it's called 1 Second to Mars Contains Carmine. And I was a little disappointed with this product when I first received it because not a lot of product was picking up on the brush. But now that I've actually used it a few times, it actually is like, it's picking up nicely on the brush. I will say though, it is a little bit like difficult to get this brush or this wand like in and out of this packaging, but you know, whatever, I'm willing to work with it because it is a very like inexpensive product. So that's it swatched right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. You do want to kind of pat this out quickly. It's already kind of set and dried, so you do kind of want to work with this product a little quickly, but once it does set, it's not going to go anywhere. So this is what I'm wearing all over my eyelids today. Hopefully you guys can see that, and it is a stunning eyeshadow. It hasn't really creased on me. I use my MAC paint pot as my base, but I didn't use a glitter glue. I didn't use any other type of primer as my base. I didn't use a white base or anything. I just applied this all over my lid. What I did first was I used the Too Faced Just Peachy mattes, and this is what I used as my transition color and to deepen up my V. I love these. Smells like peaches. They blend out beautifully, and you can pretty much just use this with like any color if you wanted to because it has some really nice browns, some pinky purples, some peachy shadows, but of course, you know, peachy. If you're going for a really peachy look, this is a really nice shadow. So this is what I use as my transition. For my transition, I mixed Just Peachy and Fresh Picked, and then I have some Peach Tarte in my crease to kind of deepen it up, and then I use the shade Peaches and Cream to kind of just blend everything out. The star of the look, in my opinion, really is this Essence Metal Shock Shadow. It hasn't creased on me. It hasn't transferred because I do have like hooded eyelids. It hasn't transferred on me. Hasn't irritated my eyes. It was really easy to apply. So honestly, I'm probably going to pick up a couple more shades of these. Okay, I quickly want to talk about this. This is the foundation I've been using this week, and this is the Gellar Balance and Brighten foundation. And the reason I want to mention this is because I also had this in my weekly makeup basket last week, and someone had asked what brush I used. And so I like to use this brush from IT Cosmetics or this brush from IT Cosmetics. These pretty much are like my go-to brushes. This one is the limited edition one, the one that kind of comes in a heart shape, but they work very, very similar. This one is unfortunately also another limited edition one, but I just wanted to show you guys these because I think these are similar to like the 106 or the 206 from their standard line, but honestly, I'm not quite sure if they are. So I just wanted to show you guys the shape of these. These are my favorite brushes to apply powder foundation. It really helps kind of build up the coverage when you use it with a like light to medium coverage foundation. All right, so let's get some lippies out of the way. The lip combo that I'm wearing today is using this lip liner from Colourpop. This is the little Lippie stick. This is in the color Button. I'm not sure if this color is still available. I think they discontinued this color. But I really like this color because it's kind of like a brownie, like peach color. On top of this lip liner, I'm wearing the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipstick in the color Gingersnap. And this alone is a pretty bright peachy color. So as you can see, when I paired it together, that lip liner did bring a little bit more like warmth, and I kind of just wanted to tone this lipstick down. But I love the Bite Beauty lipsticks. They smell absolutely amazing. They're very, very creamy and they last a long time. I've been wearing this lip combination now for about 4 hours and I haven't had to like retouch it or reapply it. I've had coffee, I've had breakfast, and it's still going strong. A lip gloss that I pulled out this week that I have been loving, and I've kind of just been topping this on everything. I've worn this lip combo a few times this week because I have worn a lot of like peachy shades this week. This is the Nars lip gloss in the color Orgasm, and I'm sure you guys have seen this, but I just find that it's a really, really nice like lip gloss to kind of help like revive some peachy lipsticks. It also has a really pretty like gold shimmer to it. I don't know, it's just a really nice formula. So when this does start to kind of wear away a little bit, instead of reapplying the lipstick, I would just put a little bit of this lip gloss right on top. Another lipstick I pulled out to wear this week, this is the Viva Glam II lipstick, and this clear top here, I purchased a set of these. I'll leave a link somewhere in the description box, but I purchased a set of these off of Amazon, and they're clear lipsticks because I like to store my MAC lipsticks like standing upright, and I want to be able to see the color of them, and these fit perfectly in MAC lipsticks. And I changed out all the caps, so I really enjoy storing them that way. But this is the color right here. It's just a really nice like nudie pink color. I use this color specifically because some of the looks that I did earlier this week, especially when I use the Colourpop, the Colourpop highlighter, but I used it as a loose pigment. It was kind of an intense eye look, so I wanted to wear something a little bit more neutral, and that's why I pulled this out. And it's just a really nice formula. Of course, you guys know about MAC lipsticks, and I like the satin formulation better than I like any of the other finishes. It's kind of like that perfect in between. It's not super drying on your lips, it's not super glossy, and I feel like the satin finish does wear a little bit longer than any of the other finishes. So let's move on to bronzers and contours. Technically, I started contouring this week. I don't want to blind you guys. This is really dirty. I'm sorry, you guys. I picked up this Tarte Double Duty Beauty Contour and Highlight palette because it reminded me of the like Charlotte Tilbury bronze and Bronze and Something palette. First of all, this smells like vanilla. It smells absolutely delicious. And I don't have that many contour colors in my bronzer collection. And I thought this just was a really nice like bronzer slash contour color, but it definitely works more like a contour for me. So this is what I am using today. I did use it to contour, and I kind of just concentrated it in this area right here. I didn't really like pull it too forward or anything like that, because it does have a lot of like, I don't know, like gray in it. So it definitely didn't work as a bronzer for me. But then what I did is I pulled in my butter bronzer, and I kind of used this to lightly bronze up my face and to kind of blend out that contour. So I've really been enjoying using these two together. This is the only combo that I used this week. I used it every single day that I did my makeup, and I really liked the combination of it. And then I also used this highlighter for the majority of the week. It's a really nice, like subtle, everyday type of highlighter. You can build it up, and if you wear it like over a base, it's really nice, but it's just a really nice subtle highlighter. So I just really enjoyed wearing this throughout the week, and honestly it lasted for a pretty long time because I didn't really find myself having a touch up with that highlighter at all. But then I picked up this little bad boy. This is the OFRA Feeling Myself highlighter palette. I'm probably gonna continue using this because I didn't really get too much of a chance to use it this week, but this is what I have on my cheeks today. This is what the palette looks like. It does have a really nice little mirror. It has 3 of their most popular shades in here. What I like about this is that you can actually remove these pans, but you have the color Blissful, Pillow Talk, and Rodeo Drive, and I only own 2 of the OFRA highlighters. It was the ones that were made in collaboration with Dupe That. I've never really wanted to pick up a full-size highlighter from them because they're just a little expensive in my opinion, but I've always seen swatches of these bad boys. They're very nice and pigmented. They're very smooth. Even the ones that I have they're just really nice highlighters. So when I saw that they came out with these minis, they now sell them like individually, the minis individually, but I want to say that this highlighter palette is like $30 or something like that, and like a single one of these, like a large single one of these, is $30. So I jumped on this. I used my 20% off coupon to purchase this, and I love it. Like I said, I am using Rodeo Drive today as my highlighter. It's also in my inner corners, and I also used the color Pillow Talk earlier this week. Alrighty, so let's finish up with blush. Let's talk about the blush that I'm wearing on my cheeks today. This is a blush from Tom Ford, and honestly, I've never really used this blush. I think I've used this blush maybe once, but I haven't really used it enough to formulate an opinion on it. This is in the color number 6 Wicked, and this is a very bright blush. I just barely tapped my brush in here. It ends up being the perfect amount to put on your cheeks, but again, this is the blush that I'm wearing today because it is a really nice, like bright and peachy blush, and I really like the formulation of this. But honestly, I would never pick up a Tom Ford blush and pay full price for it. The only reason I picked this up is because it was at a CCO, and I got it I think at like 70% off. Now that I've tried it, I like it. I wouldn't recommend paying full price for it. Definitely try to find these at your CCO if you can find them at your CCO. They're worth the 50% off or the 60% off price tag. So then this week I also used a drugstore blush that it performed almost as good as the Tom Ford blush. This I feel like kind of blended effortlessly. I did have to put a little bit more work into the sleek blush, and honestly I really hate the packaging of this. I always have the hardest time opening this up, and I have to open it up with a pair of tweezers because it just demolishes on my nail polish. So this is the blush in the color Coral, and this is pretty much what I use the majority of the week. It is a little bit more on the peachy side, whereas the Tom Ford blush is a little bit more on like the pinky peachy side, but it's still a beautiful blush. I'm working through my sleek collection right now because I want to see which colors I want to keep or which colors I want to declutter, because I am going to be doing my blush declutter very soon. And then last but not least, I used this once this week because this item is in my project pan. This is the Smashbox LA Lights blendable lip and cheek color in the color Silverlake Sunset. It's this really pretty like peachy color with a little bit of gold shimmer running throughout it. It does blend out like really nicely on the cheeks. I use a stippling blush brush to apply this. But what I love pairing cream blushes with, and I've talked about this maybe once in my makeup, my weekly makeup basket. This is the Cindy Luminizer. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but that's it right there. I don't know if you can kind of see a little bit of sheen like right where my knuckles are. But this is absolutely perfect to set my cream blushes, because I find that when I use a powder to set any of my cream blushes, it kind of fades the color a little bit. This works just perfectly. So that's it. That's everything that I use in my weekly makeup basket this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I currently post 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then on Sundays I like to do a weekly makeup basket. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.